Hi guys, this is gsndon.com and I'm here with the iPhone 6 for an unboxing. As you know, our sister site has reviewed the iPhone 6 Plus and I'm in tabletnews.com, and now it's the turn of the iPhone 6 to get reviewed here. They were launched at the same time, the iPhone 6 and the 6 Plus. They were announced on September 9th, and this is the handset version of the iPhone 6, while the iPhone 6 Plus is the phablet version. So we're dealing here with two models that share 90% of the specs, but this is the smaller one and the one with the lower price, and also the one that fits better in your hand. It comes in gold, it comes in white and in space gray, and the price tag is $199 for the 16GB version, $299 for the 64GB version, and $399 for the 128GB version. Of course, all the prices apply on contract. Now let's see what's inside the box. Okay, so we got the usual design by Apple in California logo, and of course a small manual, some stickers and phone info. This time, in spite of Apple's usual attention to details, there's no special contraption holding this little key in place, no special cardboard thingy. So let's pull out the nano SIM tray. Here we go, and I'm going to use a SIM, place it right here and insert it into the device, plus turn it on. This time the power button has been placed to the side, not at the top. I let the phone boot, and let's see what else is inside the box. We got the USB lightning cable, pretty standard. We got a charger right here. It requires a special adapter if you're in some parts of Europe. And we've got the Earpods. They've been the same ever since the iPhone 5. That's not exactly a bad thing. They're comfy, they're loud, they have good bass. Okay, so we're done with the box. Let's cover it up for now. And this is the initial setup. Okay, we slide and we select English, select the region, and now we have to choose the Wi-Fi network. And now let's input the password. Here we go, proceeding and activating the phone. As you know, this handset is pretty thin. It measures 6.9mm in thickness, which is less than the 7.1mm of the iPhone 6 Plus. We're enabling this, setting up as new iPhone, and now we're signing in. And we're back, terms and conditions, we agree, and now it's totally setting up. Okay, so this device, as I said, 6.9mm in thickness, it weighs 129 grams, and it's pretty light in your hand. You can actually grip it tighter and hold it much firmer than the iPhone 6 Plus. It's not slippery, it has rounded edges compared to the angular predecessors. I'm going to use iCloud, and it's updating my settings. The screen you see here is a 4.7-incher. It's a Retina HD screen with LED backlight and a resolution of 1334 over 750 pixels. This model has an IPS panel and it uses a contrast of 1400:1 contrast ratio. We also have a CPU inside. It's a dual-core Apple A8 64-bit, and now you can choose a view. You can view display zoom, standard or zoomed. This is a feature that makes more sense on the iPhone 6 Plus, to be honest. Okay, we proceed further. There is a GPU inside, the PowerVR GX 6450, and there is also the M8 Motion coprocessor from Apple. The screen is very bright, as you can see. The colleagues at tabletnews.com can attest to the fact that the iPhone 6 Plus has the brightest screen ever, and by ever I mean including tablets and including smartphones, and I expect nothing less than the same thing from this model. At the back we find an 8-megapixel camera that slightly protrudes, 8-megapixel eyesight camera with no optical stabilization, unlike the iPhone 6 Plus, 1.5 micron pixels, true tone flash next to it, f2.2 aperture and a 5-element lens plus sapphire protection because it's protruding so much and it may be vulnerable. Okay, let's go back to the web browsing experience. That seems to have left us with a blank screen or not. And the back camera is able to film in Full HD at 30 frames per second or 60 frames per second. We also have a front camera, a 1.2 megapixel shooter for your FaceTime calls with an f2.2 aperture. This is gsno.com, by the way. We also have the Touch ID fingerprint scanner at the bottom and a nano SIM card slot at the side. There's LTE on board, there's NFC used with Apple Pay, Wi-Fi calling, voice over LTE, and now let's have a gander at the camera. So the typical interface, if you know iOS 8 you probably know it by now. We have photo, we have video, we have slow-mo in two flavors, 240 frames per second or 120 frames per second. There's time-lapse, there's panorama with up to 43 megapixels in resolution, and inside the phone you also find 1 GB of RAM and a battery with a capacity of 1810 mAh. The design, it's metal unibody with some plastic stripes at the back for the sake of connectivity, and we got the pill-shaped buttons, volume buttons on the side, and once again the on-off button has been moved from the top to the side. At the bottom of the device we find 6 speaker holes right here, the lightning port, audio jack and microphone, all of them right here. Speaking of sound, you should know that this device can only capture mono sound when recording video. The feeling is very nice in the user's hand, it's easy to grip it and hold it, it's comfy to use, and it has this nifty mode that brings the top icons closer to you, and we'll learn more about that in the next days when we're going to review the device. In the notification area you can now place widgets, but once again we'll talk about that more in the full review. This is the iPhone 6 Plus, excuse me, this is not the iPhone 6 Plus, this is the iPhone 6 with a price tag starting at $199 on contract, and here at gsno.com we're going to review it in a few days. This is the unboxing of the iPhone 6. Bye bye.